And so today we are going to start talking about translations. The first thing that I want you to do is write your name, today's date, which is January 31st, 2018. The topic is geometry, and put your class in the class box. So a translation is nothing more than a slide. And so it says to vertically or to horizontally slide a figure. So today, all we're going to do is either go up or down, left or right. So to write this mathematically, we would write it like this. So we're talking about the ordered pair x, y, and we are going to either add or subtract, if you're talking about a negative number, to the x and the y. And so the h in this represents the horizontal shift, hence the letter H. And the K represents the vertical shift. When I say shift, all I mean is up, down, left, or right. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to work the odd problems, and you are going to work the even problems. So the directions say, graph and label each figure.
Hi, Mary Grace Williams. Check out, please.
And its image under the given translation. Give the new coordinates. So we're going to start with rectangle QRST. So I'm going to remind you to use your rulers to make sure that you have nice straight edges. And we're going to start with the first point, which is Q. So I'm going to draw the point -6, -1. So I'm going to start in the middle. -6 is to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -1 is down, and there's my first point. -6, -1, which is Q. Then we're going to draw R, which is -3, +1. So I start in the middle. -1, -2, -3, up 1. And that's R. Then 1, -5. Start in the middle. +1 to the right. And then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is S. Always make sure to label your points. T is -2, -7. So I'm going to go 2 to the left and then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this is T. Now we have our picture, so we're going to connect the dots. So this is my rectangle, and we are going to change the x and the y. So we are going to add 5 to all the x values, and we're going to add 7 to all the y values. So I'm going to start with Q, and so I'm going to add 5 to -6, and when I do that, I get -1. And then for y, I'm going to add 7, so I have -1 plus 7, which gives me a +6. So then I'm going to go ahead and do my other points, and then I'm going to graph them all. So -3 plus 5 is +2, and 1 plus 7 is 8. So that's R prime. S prime, 1 plus 5 is 6, and -5 plus 7 is 2. T prime, -2 plus 5 is 3, and -7 plus 7 is 0. Now I'm going to switch colors just so that you can see that the new figure and how it was translated. So I'm going to start with -1, -6. So I'm going to start in the middle, -1 to the left, +6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put a point. That is Q prime. Now note, Q is here and Q prime started there. So we went up 5 and, or no, up 7, I'm sorry, and 5 to the right. Then we have R prime, which is 2, 8. So start here, go up, 2 to the right, and then up 8, and that's R prime. Then 6, 2, start in the center, go 6 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 2, and that is S prime. And then T prime is 3, 0, so I go 3 to the right and make a point. And that is T prime. Then we connect our dots. And my new image has moved 5 to the right and over 7. And we can prove that if you look from this to here. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So S went to S prime by shifting 5 to the right and up 7. Now we're going to do number 3. So I want you to work number 2. Number 3 is a rhombus. So we're going to start with the first point, -4, +7. So I'm going to count 4 to the left and up 7. Put a point, label it J. Don't forget to label your points. K is 0, 8. 0 means I do not go left, I do not go right. I go all the way up to 8. L is -1, 4. So I'm going to go 1 to the left and 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And M is -5, 3. So I start in the center, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 1, 2, 3. And this was L, and this was M. And we're going to connect the dots and make our figure. Don't forget to use a ruler. Now we are going to move that. We're going to change every X value and add 2, and we're going to change every Y value and subtract 2. So if I take my first point J, which is -4, +7, and I add 2 to the X value, that's going to give me -2, and I subtract 2 from the Y value, that's going to give me 5. My next point is 0, 8. I'm going to add 2 to the X value, which is 2, and subtract 2 from the Y, which is 6. Then I have -1, 4. I'm going to add 2 to the X value, which is +1, and subtract 2 from Y, which is +2. And then I have -5, 3. So I'm going to add 2 to the X, which is -3, and subtract 2 from the Y, which is +1. Then I'm going to graph my new points. -2, +5. So I'm going to go 2 to the left and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make a point. And that is J prime. Then I'm going to do 2, 6. So I'm going to go 2 to the right and 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is K prime. Then I have L prime, which is 1, 2. So I'm going to go 1 to the right, 2 up. Label it L prime. And M prime is -3, 1. So I'm going to go 3 to the left and up 1. Label it M prime. Then I'm going to connect all my points. And it's okay to have overlapping transformations. There we go. Now I want you to try number 4 on your own. I'm going to work number 5. So triangle STU. So I'm going to start with my points, -4, +2. I'm going to start in the center, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, +2, make a point, this is S. Then I have 5, -1, so I'm going to go 5 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 1, that's T. And U is -2, -2, so I'm going to start in the center, 2 to the left, 2 down, and that is U. And I'm going to connect my points. Now I'm going to subtract 1 from my x values and subtract 5 from my y. So -4, 2. When I subtract 1 from x, it becomes -5. And when I subtract 5 from 2, I get -3. From 5, -1. If I subtract 1 from 5, I get 4. And if I subtract 5 from -1, I get -6. Remember to use a calculator if you struggle with adding and subtracting integers. -2, -2. I'm going to subtract 1 from -2 and get -3. And I'm going to subtract 5 from -2 and get -7. Now I'm going to change colors. And I'm going to plot my new triangle. -5, -3, start at the center, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, make a point, that's S prime, 4, -6, so I'm going to go +1, 2, 3, 4, -6 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, make a point, that's T prime, and -3, -7, so 3 to the left and down 7. And this is U prime, and then I have to connect my points. And there is my translation of the triangle STU. Okay, so now I want you to try number 6. And I'm going to move to the back page. So I'm going to do number 7. So it says write a rule describing the translation below. So what I want you to do, I want you to tell me what happens to the x and what happens to the y. And the easiest way to do that is you have to start with your pre-image, which is this, and say what happens to get it to the image, which is this one. We can tell the difference because the pre-image does not have the prime next to the letters and the image does. So I want to know, what are we adding to x and what are we adding to y? So I'm going to count. I'm going to say, okay, I've got to go up because from D to D prime, we're going up. So I'm going up 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now when I go up, that reflects the y-axis. So that means I'm going to go up 4 and I'm going to add that to my y. Then I have to go over to the right. And when I go to the right, remember that's positive, just like on a number line. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's +7. And since I'm going left and right, that is changing my x value, so I'm going to add 7 to my x. Now I want you to write the rule for number 8. Remember, if you're adding, you're going to go up and to the right. But if you're going down and to the left, you would be subtracting. So if you can, it's like adding a negative number, which is the same thing. So just be careful on number 8 when you write the rule. Let's look at number 9. So the directions say graph and label each figure and its image under the given transformations. Give the new coordinates. So it's basically the same thing that we were doing a minute ago. So my x value, or we're going to start there, -3, +7. So I'm going to start here. So I'm going to do -1, 2, 3, +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put a point. That's your x value. Then y is -2, 1. So I'm going to go 2 to the left, up 1. That's y. And z is -5, 2. So -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +1, 2. Put a point, and that's z. Then we need to connect our points. Now so that's our pre-image. Now we're gonna draw our image. So the first thing it says to do is a reflection in the x-axis. So we're doing 2 things to this. So we've learned how to do reflections. So we're gonna reflect along the x-axis. And in this case, that is this axis right here. So we're gonna reflect along the x-axis, which means we have to make sure that our image is the same distance away from the line of reflection. So this y is 1 away from the line, so I'm going to put y prime right there. Then my z is 2 away from the line, so z prime has to be 2 away. And this x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away. So it must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away in the reflection. So this is x prime. So now, because we're not quite done yet, I'm just going to make a dotted line to show that this is my reflection. And we're not quite finished yet. So now I have to translate that purple image +9 and +2. Okay? So I'm going to start with this y. Since x is +9, that means I'm going to go 9 to the right. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And since the y is +2, that means I'm going to go up 2. And I'm going to make my point right here. And this will be y prime. Technically, I guess it'd be y double prime since this is my second movement. But I've seen it done both ways. Now x, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go 9 to the right and up 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up 2, make my point. This is x prime. And then z, 9 to the right and up 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and up 2, and make my point. And this is z prime. Now we connect our dots, and we're going to label our points. And our new ordered pairs are 6, -5 for x prime, which is right here. We went over 6, down 5. Y prime is 7, 1. We went 7 to the right and up 1 from the origin. And Z prime is 4, 0. Now I want you to try to do number 10. Remember, reflect first. In this case, the line of reflection is a diagonal. So we need to draw a diagonal line from this corner to this corner. So we got to do that first and do the reflection. And then remember, when you reflect y equals x, all you got to do is swap your x's and y's. That was from yesterday's lesson. So I'm going to do number 11, and then you'll be responsible for number 12. So rectangle LMNP starts with -2, 7. So -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's L. M is 2, 3. So over 2, up 3. That's M. N is 0, 1. 0 means I do not go left or right, and I go up to 1. P is -4, 5. So -1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is P. Then I'm going to connect my points. Now, in this case, the first thing I'm going to do is my translation, and then I'm going to do my reflection. So when I translate, I'm going to translate every point up, 6 to the right, because the x is a +6, and down 8. So I'm going to start with L, and I'm going to go 6 to the right. 1, let me change colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to make a point, and that will be my new L. Then M is 2, 3, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to go over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make a point. That is M. Then N, I'm going to go over 6 because it's +6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make a point. It's N. And P, over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make a point, and that's P. Now remember, because this is not completely finished yet, I'm just going to make a dotted line. And now I'm going to reflect this in the y-axis. So my line of reflection is going to be the y-axis right here. And I'm going to reflect this across y. So I'm going to start with the point closest to the line of reflection. It's 2 away on this side, so it needs to be 2 away on this side. So this is going to be P prime. L is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side. M is all the way to the edge, which is 8. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the other side. This is M. and in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away from the line of reflection. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the other side. Now I'm going to connect my points. And my new image looks like that. So my new points are -4, -1, -8, -5, -6, -7, and -2, -3. And now I want you to work number 12. All right, so I'm going to let you do 2 through 12 for homework. And you will put your answers in Schoology for the ordered pairs, just like before.
For this interruption.
Thank
At
you.
this
Have a
time,
great
we have
day.
any students who have MacBooks checked out if you would have them returned to the front office.